In late 2008, Royalty in Exile Productions set out to document Ashmore, Illinois and surrounding Coles County. After a short stay in Coles County, there is no question that this area holds a large amount of mystery and unanswered questions. One such example is the building known as Ashmore Estates. What started in 1870 as a county poor farm later became a home for mentally unstable patients and still stands among nothing but cornfields and open prairie land. It stood abandoned since 1987 and has been left with stories of abuse, hauntings, and even bizarre happenings. It has suffered vandalism and decay over the years, making it very threatening and even dangerous to be in. Current owners Scott and Tanya Kelly were kind enough to let us experience Ashmore Estates firsthand, and one thing is certain, that the truth in Coles County is shocking.
And there was always a place in the back of my mind that I might try to get into, and it was Ashmore Estates.
Well, the history of Ashmore Estates goes back to 1870, actually. Conditions were just appalling, and the building was prone to fire. And in 1880, actually, a young girl named Elva Skinner burned to death inside of the building.
Or like the Ashmore Estates was like all blacked out, and like you could see things around it, but like Ashmore Estates was completely black.
Story about a woman he described as being possessed, who apparently had the strength to break her restraints and physically attack him.
Went upstairs and then walked down the hall, through a few rooms, looked like hospital rooms, and we all went into one room, started looking around, and all of a sudden the door slammed behind us and none of us were standing near it.
These formless black things, and it was going from my left to my right at very high speeds.
We get black mists, we get white mists, a full body apparition in the building, and many people have seen him, including myself. And he's been seen as recently as about a week and a half ago.
He went in the building and we waited the longest time for him to come back out. My dad was really worried about him. He come out and kept talking about seeing something floating through the air, come at him. It went right through him, and when we got home that night, his hair was turned gray, and it never went back to his other color.
Has anyone ever actually come in and reported a ghost sighting or reported something unusual here that you have, and not you yourself, but you know of other officers that maybe have gotten?
Yes.
And also, there was a woman's torso was discovered there in 1980.
We found that some residents were uncomfortable talking about Ashmore Estates and the surrounding area. This may be because of the events that once took place in this area have gone unsolved to this very day.
Cult related. The coroner later determined that the body that was found there was not killed there.
A local crime could be linked to one of these groups?
I'm really sure that it could be, because it is so hidden and so far away from town.
Go on in places like this small town thing that things will go on right under your nose and nobody pays any attention to it. They don't notice. They don't want to notice.
Footage we're about to see is from a VHS tape that was delivered to executive producer Tyson D. Reed from an unknown source. After careful analysis, we have concluded that this footage is in fact authentic and reveals a once darker past of Coles County.
I won't say any names, but you're an officer of the law, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we won't tell what's going on or where you're from. Any like cult activity in the area that you could speak of?
At one point in time, it was more outward than it is now. It's there, but it's behind the scenes. We see the results of sacrificing animals and things like that.
When it became like more, how do I say it? Like I said, more organized. Do you think that it reaches into fingers of like politics or anything like that?
Based on their dress and how the things that they talk about, assuming that would be something they would be interested in to all levels of either politics or local governments.
Do you think that any of the local crime could be linked to groups like this?
The people that hire me, you know, they hire me to keep people out of there, you know.
What means do you use?
I can't talk about that. Look, I'm not comfortable with this, man.
Why? I mean, what?
I'm not comfortable. know, I don't know why you keep asking me so many things.
No, come on. Now, you don't got to be like this.
Well.